Hey, what's good, people, man? Platinum Bearded Dread. Another lovely day. Don't you ever get those moments where you're watching a movie and it might be one of those movies about, I don't know, them kind of Roman films, you got Roman soldiers and you got like the slaves of that time and the prisoners and all that kind of stuff. Or when you look at, I don't know, maybe a Nazi Germany movie and you got the Nazis then you've got the Jews being persecuted and stuff. Or when you look at, I don't know, a slavery movie based on, the horrors of slavery. And you've got like the slave masters and, their families on the plantation. And you've got the slaves going through all of that, what they're going through. Did you ever watch the movies and think, if I was there, man, I'd have to say something. Looking at all the blatant, brutal torture and tyranny, you know what I mean? Come out, man. And you say, if I was there, I would have to do something, man. I'd have to say something. There's no way I'd be around at that time and say nothing. But you know what's interesting about that, yeah, is because that's a very easy thing to say, and I'm sure most of us would say that. But if you fast forward now in 2021, where we've got the governments of all countries, I'm based in the UK, but you've got the governments of all countries acting like maniacs, real tyrants, man. The government of America and the government of, particularly America, to make Hitler look soft, based on what he's allowing those around him and him to get away with. You know what I mean? And right now, you've got this whole world lockdown, particularly in the Western world, and people's quote-unquote freedoms are being just taken day by day. And even to the point that, check the joke, man, in the UK, we're in July, right, 2021, and you got, after a year and a half or 2 years, I don't know, of lockdowns and stuff, the government are going to start lifting restrictions and stuff. And what are they calling it? Freedom Day. Freedom Day, 19th of July, Freedom Day now. Now, if that isn't the biggest insult, slap, and indication that they see us nothing more than slaves, then I don't know what is. And even with this so-called Freedom Day, it's like drip feeding us our little freedoms that we're so happy to get back. There might not be the obvious signs like, the Nazis walking up and down with their rifles, or the slave master with his whip, or the Roman soldiers with their swords and their shields marching, come out, man, too many flies, marching on the highways and stuff. But what makes you think this time is any better? You've got this whole vaccine thing going on. Don't want to go into too much about that, but I do know that the government, the pharmaceutical companies are acting like bullies, not allowing people to have freedom of choice. And then you've got the media, probably the most powerful tool on the planet, evil, man, and we know who runs the media still, using all their means to spread propaganda and brainwashing. Now, put all of that in one pot, then now ask yourself, how many people can you hear standing up against it? We've got like demonstrations going on all over the world, but in the bigger scheme of things, how many people are using their voice to rise up against it? And even more closer to home, are you one of them? In all honesty, are you one of them? Because like I said, it's easy to say, if I was living back then, I'd have said this, I'd have said that. But how many of us are even using a small platform that we might have? It could be social media. I'm not even talking about, going on the world stage and, being like Malcolm X or Minister Farrakhan or, you know what I mean? Because not everybody's cut like that. But even on a tiny scale, dropping a bit of knowledge to whether it be your family members, mum, dad, your brothers and sisters, or a friend, or even a stranger, a wino on the street, druggie on the street, it doesn't matter, man. But the idea that you're using your little opportunity to spread something, to counteract what this devil is doing with the whole notion of controlling everything and everyone. Because trust me, it's almost like the more we remain quiet, just like in those movies, the easier it is for them to do what they're doing. And even to a degree, we get arrogant to the point that they think it's okay because we think it's okay. Hence, how slavery was able to be a normality in America, where you had black people treated. I mean, it's not even all documented. That's how horrific it is. Or if you look at the Nazi movies, documentaries, and you see, the idea of getting away with treating human beings less than humans, less than animals. You know what I mean? Piling them up on each other once they kill them, like they're just garbage. And when you look at things like that, Hitler wasn't really the real problem. It was the people, man. Hitler was some short little man with a vision, as evil as he was, but he wasn't really the problem. It was the people that allowed it. He wasn't doing anything different to what America wanted to do then and are doing now. All British government come to that. Same thing with slavery. That, like I said, that couldn't have been the norm unless the people were compliant with all. Same thing with today. They can't be taking away our so-called freedoms unless we allow it. And at the moment, we're allowing it. Prophet Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam, he said, I think he said, if I quote, "A people get the leader they deserve." And I remember when I first read that, I was like, wow, that's a bit heavy, man. But then when I looked at those words, "A people get the leader they deserve," he's quite right, he's right. Because at the end of the day, if only a few of us are speaking out, then it means the majority of people don't have a problem. And hence, that's why we have the leader that we have. And if we look at that today, how can we really complain about some maniacs that are running things if, as the majority, we're not really using our voice to any level? And trust me, that is really all we have, but it's not small, It's not small, man. Maybe it's fear, who knows? In certain movies, you watch certain movies and you think, nah, man, if it was me, I'd rise up and I'd fight, blah, blah. Maybe it is fear. And maybe that's why a lot of people in those movies and documentaries and historic times didn't do anything. I don't think it's just fear. I think for many people it was convenience. But even if it's fear, if they can take someone else's freedom and you're watching it yesterday, what's to make them think that they can't take yours tomorrow? You know what I mean? With this whole this pandemic business, right now all of a sudden it's like they put a jail on the planet. And I just urge all of us to use our voice, no matter how big or small, while we still have it. Platinum bearded red. Yeah, man.